Hello and welcome to The Racing Journey, a podcast about all things Formula Student, everything from technical engineering, management, stories, and experiences in the world of building a Formula Student race car and a team. My name is Pranay Ketineni, the captain of Velocita Racing, and let's get started with today's episode. Motorsport, as the world knows, is the game of driving automobiles in a spirited manner, which is defined by Wikipedia as a global term used to encompass the group of competitive sporting events which primarily involve the use of motorized vehicles, whether for racing or non-racing competition. Racing in four-wheels automobiles, cars, is generally governed by FIA, which in French is Fédération Internationale des Automobiles. Sorry for my bad French, or International Federation of Automobiles. Like mentioned before, motorsport is mainly divided into racing and non-racing events. Racing usually includes competitors racing against each other with time or position and is irrelevant to a person's judgment which decides the winner. Racing is again divided into two main categories, open wheel racing and enclosed wheel racing. Formula 1 being the most famous of open wheel racing, it is also the most expensive on the list. And to all my Formula 1 fans out there, cheers to Hamilton on his 92nd win and being a world record setter now. The junior series in Formula World include Formula 2, Formula 3, which were formerly known as GP5000, GP2 and GP3. IndyCar is another form of open wheel racing which is very popular in North America and is the premier series which originated in Indianapolis Motor Speedway located in Indiana. In the electric car realm, Formula E is the blazing new series commenced by FIA in 2014. Here only electric race cars race against each other and is being popularized by various street circuits it is usually held in. Coming to enclosed wheel racing category, it includes cars as we know them with bodywork around the wheels. Sports car racing is the pinnacle of this form of racing which include GT sports cars, specialized prototype cars in various classes. One of the most famous races in this category is the 24 Hours of Le Mans. For those of you who have watched Ford vs Ferrari, you would know all about this 24 hours of gruesome racing that is held in Le Mans every year. Other enclosed racing cars include stock car racing, which is also called as NASCAR by a few people, which is actually the organizing body. Here, the highly modified production cars are raced around banked ovals for a set number of laps. This is the form of racing the Pixar movie Cars represent. This is also very popular in North America. Touring car racing is one really popular form of racing in Europe where production cars are entered into classes and competed to be the quickest team overall. This is a very interesting form of motorsport for me as it encourages manufacturers to build brilliant cars which reach the public as most of these races have a homologation requirement. One of my favorite car is from such series called DTM, the German Touring Car Championship. The BMW E30 M3 from 1987. Please do check out videos on YouTube of that car. It has a very brilliant sounding inline 4 naturally aspirated engine. Rally racing and off-road racing are a few other forms of enclosed wheel racing. Like mentioned before, there is a non-racing form of motorsport as well. It is where driving is not usually timed and judged based on style and skill. Some examples are drifting, gymkhana, freestyle and more. What makes racing or motorsport very unique? Racing is a culmination of two realms, the machine and the driving skill. For me, both of these hold tremendous interest as building a fast car is one half of the job while driving it the way it can be to get the result is the other. To build the fastest car out there is an engineering challenge which brings out the best solutions, sometimes so mesmerizingly inspired from nature, and most of the time makes me go wow to those engineers who create these marvels. The driving, on the other hand, is equally impressive as it takes some massive confidence, understanding and control to make the car perform. Each driver has to train in their field, produce some impressive drives and get in sync with their machine to get the result they want. In general, motorsport includes a car that is designed by a set of engineers over countless simulations and testing, mechanics who build and maintain the car, drivers who race it, and the management who make all of this happen as effective and successful as possible. Racing is and has always been expensive. To make ends meet, one of the most critical form of funding is by sponsorship. Therefore, you can say racing cars are very fast billboards. Formula Student is one way for a person who loves motorsport to experience this all in a small scale during his or her college life. It brings out the best in a person, no matter what field they choose to work on for the team, while giving them a real life example on how to apply what they've learned in their formal education. Here in this podcast, I will talk about my experience in the Formula Student community, where I started an FS team and set out to be one of the best in my country, India. I'll bring you everything that will help a new student who's looking to get into the Formula Student scene, some technical details, tips and tricks that we use to make this happen, management experiences and learnings, along with some exciting stories that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Thank you for listening to the episode of The Racing Journey. If you like this, please leave a like and a good rating on the streaming platform. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Share it to all your friends in the FSAE community and to everyone aspiring to get a share of the world of FSAE. You can follow me on Instagram at HeadHoonigan, the podcast at Racing Journey Podcast, to know more when a new episode is released. Stay safe, be kind.